Welcome to the Deck Brewers, where old school magic meets modern play. I'm Pranger, and I'm from the old school of magic.
And I'm Logan. I'm modern play.
What's today's video going to be about? Us and the channel. We're going to talk about ourselves a little bit, give you an idea of our background, kind of gives you where we're coming from. And then we're going to talk more importantly about what's the channel about? What are we going to cover in the channel for you guys to come and view? I teach at a local college, and I've been there over a decade, and I started playing Magic a long time ago. I'm old school Magic after all. I did start when Arabian Nights and Unlimited was still on shelves. You could still buy packs of those. Played up through my college days until about Legends, Ice Age. Graduated college, decided it was time to take a break. Finances, mortgages are expensive, adulting got in the way. I took a break from Magic after that. Came back in, started my present teaching position at the present college I'm at, and started advising the gaming club mid-2010s. That's where I met this gentleman.
I started playing Magic in the summer of 2017, and then in the fall of 2017 is when I went to college and found the gaming club that he was the advisor of. I quickly joined that club and started playing Magic within it.
We started playing Magic together quite often.
We did. Due to being a college student, I focused on running budget-friendly decks, extremely budget-friendly decks. I focused on effective but cheap, so that meant increasing mana values for lower price of cards. Due to that, I have some more of the jankier side of decks, but being able to spend a few extra mana to get the job done saves $1 or $2. I've continued that theme all the way up till today, though now having a full-time job, I can spend, about $1 or $2 extra every now and then. I also started playing Commander with some friends from work. They got me into learning Commander and doing it. It's a fun but expensive thing to do. But overall, I like to focus more on the fun side of things.
And that's one of the things that we've agreed on since we've been playing Magic together all these years. Fun, not just for us, but for the whole table. We want everybody at the table to be having fun along with us. Whether it's Commander, whether it's Standard, or whether it's Pioneer, or Legacy, bring out some of the old-time cards. We're all having fun. And that's one of the things that drives us in this channel is we're going to show you how we have fun playing the game we love, Magic.
Assuming you're not playing taxes, of course.
Hey now, I've only got one deck like that. Mr. Pillowfort.
Destroying a board every other turn is not too bad.
Unless you're playing creatures.
What are creatures? Now that you want to know a bit more about it, let's get to know the channel a bit more. As you probably guessed from our introductions of each other, the channel will mostly be focused around Magic the Gathering content.
At least here in the beginning.
Inside of that, we'll mostly be focusing on some of the formats that we find fun and interesting to play, with the main one being casual or kitchen table, or I've called it kitchen sink at times.
Just whatever cards we have on hand, what we have in our collections, a few house rules that we have. Very casual, fun format to us. Not specific to Modern, not specific to Legacy, not specific to any one format. That way.
Just a group of friends getting together, playing with the cards that they have for fun. From there, we'll be doing Standard and Historic via Arena, just to save a little bit of money and, not have to buy new cards every time a new set comes out, because it can get a bit pricey. We'll also be doing a little bit of Modern gameplay, just to touch on the more competitive side of Magic. And then we'll also be doing Commander/EDH to break up the monotony of stuff.
And to represent old school, I'll be bringing in and playing some of the older formats like Multi-Headed Giant or Emperor. Each of these different formats that we're going to be covering requires us to build our decks to meet that format. Obviously, they have different little rule sets, which cards are allowed and not. So our deck techs that we do on the channel are going to be specific decks for specific formats. And a lot of times it's going to be, we're going to build the same deck for a specific format, and you're going to see how we build it differently. We may say, okay, here's the theme, build to this theme. Or here's your commander, build to this commander type of deal. And that's what we'll be doing for a lot of our deck techs that we do. Another thing that I'm looking forward to and pretty excited about is we're going to do a pre-release style deck tech. We're going to get a pre-release pack. We're going to open it up. You're going to see all the cards. And then we're going to build our individual decks off of it. We may be in the same room. We may do it on camera, but we'll have the cards, same pool, two different people. How are we going to build? And if we can, we're going to pull it off. We're going to put them up against each other. It'll all depend on what we build at the time.
Yes. Seeing how two different styles come together.
How different two people build their decks, even if it's the exact same cards.
Talking about, the different formats and how we build our decks, one thing we have to pay attention to is the rules when we build those decks. Commander has a limit of one card.
For most cards, anyway. You got petitioners, you've got apostles, you got the Nazgul, you got the dwarves. So there's a few that you can do others in.
So there are, we'll be showing the exceptions of card text trumps normal rules and how the rules can be used in your favor and stuff. And, that will lead us into how to set some tricks and some traps for your opponent to fall into. It could be, abusing the stack manipulation or, just abusing some of the more obscure rules of Magic that we've found and liked over the years.
We'll also be looking into more of the confusing rules that have come out and been, I don't want to say controversial, but more of you really have to sit down and think your way through the rules. I mean, we don't want to mention specifics, but we are. Mutate, talking to you. I mean, it's a very confusing rule when it came out, and there was a lot of material done on it. We'll be throwing our hat in there and doing some of that same material too. And we'll also be showing you some of our stack manipulation techniques, if you want to call it that. Maybe not techniques, but how we've abused the stack to get an advantage over something. And we'll do some of that in Arena, because it does a really good job of building the stack up there on the side of that screen. And if we can't do it in Arena, we'll probably do it on the table and lay out our cards, literally put our cards on the table, and show you how this card puts this onto the stack, and then how we have to unwind the stack and see how things go. So that's what our rules text is going to be a lot about. Something that included in that's going to be new mechanics as they come out. Each set seems to have a new mechanic in it. So we're going to go over our take on those new mechanics. We may even go back and revisit some of the older mechanics and see what we can add to the body of knowledge that we have on that mechanic. Speaking of going back and new mechanics, one thing I like about being a college instructor is that I get a whole new crop of students every fall. They come in and they bring varying levels of Magic play with them. Some will have started early teen years and have 3 or 4 years behind them, maybe even already be in the competitive scene. Some will come in and they'll have just started Magic like their last year in high school or in between college and high school, much like Logan did. Some come in and the first time they see Magic is when we're in the Commons area playing Magic, like, hey, what's that game? Can you teach me to play that? And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do a series of videos on how to play Magic, just the basics of how to play Magic so you can watch it and learn it. Yes, I know there's a ton of those videos out there. Ours is going to be our take on how to do it and more of a curriculum based, like I was teaching a class on how to play Magic. So that's the educator in me coming out. What can I say?
In the comments, let us know if you have any formats that you would like to see us play or just trying to understand something new. Also, let us know if you have any rules that you found noteworthy over the years or some rules that you found confusing. You would like to have an explanation on how they work.
And with that, we're down to the obligatory like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon if you like our material. We do have some other videos going up at the same time this one does, so go out and check those out. And if you like it, give us that thumbs up.